Hi, everybody. I hope that you're doing well and not too bored. I'm trying this live worship with our church. Some of the ways that we've tried to do it so far and the pros and cons and stuff that we've come into. So I'm a music director at a local church. It's Harrowsmith Free Methodist Church, and I'm part-time there. When this all happened a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we decided not to have service, and instead, sort of spur of the moment, we tried live streaming. And we used one of the volunteers' phones and just set up live stream it on a what do you call it, a tripod, and we went that way. And the thing that I noticed right away with Facebook was that the audio wasn't too bad. It was really missing a lot of the highs and low frequencies, so we didn't hear much bass coming through the phone and stuff like that. And also when it went live and for the whole service, it was really pixelated, like big blocks, not a very high quality. Now the church has high-speed internet, like what's it called, the fiber optics, like whatever that's called, fiber. It's fast. I can upload 3 gig videos that take just a couple. I don't think it wasn't that issue, but maybe video while it was streaming it and saving maybe receiving the right amount of data, but only showing the users a lower resolution, and then it takes time and process that phone. And then we use software called OBS, which is free open source software, and we use that to be the phone image, and we streamed it that way. And so the person who was running the computer could switch the angles. They could go from the drummer to the piano player. We did that with, it just wasn't very good. There was an issue with lag between the different cameras, and I thought it was because we had some really inexpensive, like old cameras that were 4 or 5 years old that people were just, phones that people weren't using anymore. They're just kicking around. So we tried that for a little while for that service. And then the following week we went, the people coming in the house here. We recorded it using OBS, and then at the end of that Saturday night, I uploaded it to YouTube and Facebook to make it live at the same time. And the next one, really poor sound quality. So one of the things that I thought I would talk about today in this whole experience of trying to make the service live to people, and engage the church, like we had maybe 300 or 400 people watching the service, and that's bigger than a church. And it felt more like a performance than it really felt like a worship service. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were so preoccupied with making sure that we had nice angles for the cameras and that it was interesting to watch visually. I think for me, mentally anyway, I just wasn't engaged in it in the way that I usually am when I'm leading worship. Like when you see the whole congregation singing out, you see people with maybe their hands are up in the air, or like when you see the whole congregation singing out, you see people with maybe their hands are up in the air, or using to his presence. Internet. As a side note, I called my internet company and said, I want to upgrade to high speed. And they said, great, sounds awesome. It's going to cost $465. What? Apparently they mistyped. It was $65 a month, though. That gave me a bit of a heart attack. But they said they can't send a technician out until the virus is over. So I struggle with a slow internet connection for these streaming experiences. So sorry about that if you're having to deal with that. So back to the topic at hand, leading worship. So as I'm trying to lead worship, I'm not getting any visual feedback from other members of the congregation because they're anonymous behind their screens. And I think I'm more aware of how I'm looking because I'm thinking about how other people are watching me and will be able to watch me in the future. Like, it was just a really bad experience. When I watched the video afterwards, I felt like, God wasn't glorified in that. But I was actually wrong. I heard afterwards from people that it made them cry, that just seeing our church and seeing some of the worship team who were there, actually pretty much all my family, my children and my wife and myself, it just made them feel like how much they miss being at church and being around the body of believers. And they really had a worshipful experience. So glory be to God. Praise God for that. I'm so thankful he could use us in that. So all I would say to those of you who are trying to stream your church services, the most important thing, I think, will always be authenticity and really trying to imagine that the people you are singing to, you're actually singing with, and that you are maybe not able to visually see their reactions, but know that God is working, and it's up to God. He's the one moving in their hearts. He's the one that's making an impact in their lives, and trust him to be faithful to do what he's promised to do. I don't know if that's any use to anyone. And I'm not really sure that even anybody's here. I see one person is here on the users, but it doesn't show in the live chat that they're there. So in any case, this is interesting for posterity's sake. Maybe if somebody finds this video in the future, I hope that it's helpful. So I thought that I would just play around on my ukulele for a little while too. So thanks for coming by. If I see anyone, if you come in, say hi in the chat so that I can say hi back to you. And I hope that you enjoy this. I hope you like that. I see now there's 2 people here. I just thought I'd get my guitar out maybe and play for you a little bit on my guitar, if you want. This is the new guitar that my mom recently got me. And it is such a pretty guitar. So, my tune, not pretty good. Oh my God, I love you. I love you. You are Lord in my life. You are Lord in my life. Oh my Lord, I love you. Protect me from harm and protect my family. Protect my family. Oh. stuff up, just playing around. Well, anyway, that's my second attempt at live streaming. I'd love to hear from you. So if you happen to watch this video and want to say hi, please do. Let me know that you were here. And maybe next time I go live, you can be in the room with me while I'm live. I'd love to hear from you and see you in here the time I do this. Anyway, God bless you. Bye-bye.